open on YouTube. We're just starting a few minutes early for those of you who are hanging out, if anyone is. By the way, here's the way to find out. Let me go into the chat. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, let us know if you're watching on YouTube.
Oh, the YouTube chat.
It
Hits up.
should. It should.
Oh,
We've
that's
already,
awesome.
we're not, I mean, we're pretty unprofessional, but we're not so unprofessional that we're literally like we've already figured out whatever kinks there were going to be. Okay, yeah, so we're here. We got we got Jay and Doctor leaving comments from YouTube. So we are actually they left comments a while ago because they got little timestamps. I've never streamed live to YouTube from Riverside.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I know.
It was
So
flawless.
these they at least left those comments before we started. There we go. Oh, Blaine's here. Nice.
What up, Blaine?
Showing up on YouTube. I hope that MGN shows up and says, heh heh. Do you know that I've been hearing from MGN?
Oh yes.
No.
Yeah, well, I figured Dave wouldn't, but yes, I have. That wasn't just an
Well,
idle
the
heh heh.
news wasn't big enough for me to pass it down the grapevine, but I was impressed.
That's not big enough.
No.
How many people are here? So thank you to you three. Maybe the rest you can pop in. I don't know how to see how many viewers we have, if that's even something I can see. We'll start the show in just a few minutes. We thought we'd join you a little early. Just to
We've
say
already
what's
been
up.
cuddling for almost a half hour.
Yeah, Jay said I have a live stream for BookmarkCon at the exact time this is going live, so I won't be able to make it, but break a leg. Glad to see the band back together, even if it's only temporary. Doctor, guys, this is like early Christmas for me. Haven't felt so giddy in forever. Blaine, thank you for it says it shows up on YouTube. And MGN, I'm here. Heh heh.
Oh, Johnny's
Can you
so
guys
happy
see the
right now.
chat? You should be able to see it. If you go over, there should be a tab on the far right of your Windows that says chat.
Oh,
And then if you
I do see it.
click on live stream chat,
Oh,
it
that's
says 9
that's
watching now. Blaine's reporting that 9 are watching live.
okay. That's pretty awesome. All right.
All right. What's up, party people?
Oh,
Hold on. I
wow!
need to make
You know what's
sure.
changed since our last show?
What's that?
My vision started to go. If I wanted
Oh.
to read these chats, I'm gonna have to wear glasses.
Oh,
You look
yeah,
like
I
a
can.
holy shit. How am I the oldest one here and I'm not wearing glasses to read?
Well, I've gotten to the point where like I go into a restaurant and I'm like, it's too dim and small text. I can't read the menu.
I do find it funny that medicine bottles are in such small print, or not the bottles, but like the boxes with the warnings and stuff. Like that's super tiny.
Well, at least as long as you haven't started talking about it, you didn't used to be this way back in my day.
When I was a kid, they just gave you pills.
How small is the printing on your flashlight, Dave?
I'm trying to remember. I think the only part that was small was the warning, but your mom's name was really big on it.
Well, I was worried that we might have become more PC in the years, and apparently the answer is no.
I think my mom is exempt from cancel culture. I think it's like open season.
We should probably wait a few more minutes. Yeah, so we got a bunch here. We got Alicia. Hopefully I'm not mispronouncing your name. Roy, MGN, of course, and Michelle all showing up.
Oh man,
I got a few.
Pandemic has come up twice this week. Twice. So Johnny, well, so neither of you know this because Johnny, you haven't been in the company Slack in a couple of years, and Dave, same thing for totally different reasons. And,
Wait, we have another Slack?
We have the wow, it's watch of the week, and this week's was Six String Samurai, which is not good, and Birdemic came up. It was gonna be like, I think I'm gonna pick Birdemic for my next pick.
Are you trying to get everyone to off themselves?
No, but it's such a bad movie in such a spectacular way.
Yeah, people have missed the point when I've told them, I'm like, it's the worst movie you've ever seen. You've never seen anything that's terrible. And I'm saying it with such pride. And then somebody will go, well, I don't really want to watch that if it's a terrible movie.
Why would I do that to myself?
Well, it's like I think that the Birdemic is more enjoyable than The Room, for example, where Birdemic just has so much, like the Microsoft,
Terribleness.
like paint birds that are just like hovering in the air, and the fact that, well, I guess both creators are delusional as to what their actual production looks like.
Do you guys want to go ahead and actually officially start the show? We don't have to restart the recording or anything.
Yeah,
It just
I
means that
have
we...
no idea how that's different than what we've already been doing.
Well, because we'll be, I was gonna say on topic, but that wouldn't be on brand. Just say shit. All right, here we go. Back for one more.
Wait.
Right.
Can we have Dave like hum the music? Do you remember it, Dave?
I don't remember the fucking music. We had music.
Let me see if I can handle it. Okay, here we go.
Watch the show.
All right, shut the fuck up. All right, here we go. Self-publishing podcast, episode number 69 or something.
Welcome to the Self-Publishing Podcast, where if you want something done right, you've got to do it yourself. And now, here are your hosts, three goths who spend most of their time up in the trees, Johnny, Sean, and Dave.
Hey, everyone, and welcome to the Self-Publishing Podcast reunion episode, the show where three old-school authors relive the past and complain about the present. I'm Johnny B. True, and here with my co-hosts, Sean Ray Romano Platt and Dave I Love Florida Right. Guys, let's do this thing. It's like,
that was
like
fun.
2012 all over again.
No, that felt really good. I got warm fuzzies hearing that. Dave, now do you remember it?
I do remember it now. Yes.
Do you remember the Goths and Trees?
I do. I remember all of it. I need to hear it, and then
remember
it
once
triggers
I
the
heard it.
memory.
Yeah, I wouldn't remember that. As soon as I heard the start, I could have finished it, but I couldn't have heard it in my head. I was just fucking with Dave.
And the Wolfman Jack impersonator.
So I will mention that we are, so for those of you who may have just joined us, we're live on YouTube, but we can see all your comments, even though we're not literally, well, that doesn't matter.
I
so
really
please,
love that, though, actually. I love being able to see the comments and not being on YouTube.
well, if I weren't a Philistine, then we could be streaming all over the place in many different platforms, and it'll consolidate all the comments in one place, which is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, we have a Corey said he's putting a request for What's Up Dave's Butt Stinger.
Yeah,
Well, we
so
were talking
Corey,
about the
send
sex
that
right
to
before we
me
started.
if you happen to have it. I looked really hard. First of all, let's just bow down to some royalty there, because I forgot who sent it to us because I was trying to search for it, and I searched far and wide for it, and I couldn't find it. So if you want to email it,
I don't think it
to
was
me-
Corey that sent it.
Well, it says, oh,
No,
never
but-
mind. Sorry,
no.
Corey. I thought putting my request. I thought it was my What's Up Dave's Butt Stinger. I remember it though. It was
Johnny was
heavy
about to be
metal.
so
It was
happy.
like, What's up, Dave's butt? What's up, Dave's butt? I will say, guys, the nostalgia here is thick, because when I wanted to go back and find that music and get a feel for the sorts of shit that we're going to talk about, I listened back to an episode or two, and I ran across Dave doing Ayahuasca Joe. Do you remember Ayahuasca Joe?
I only remember the Ayahuasca Joe exists. I don't remember the story.
He was like, "Hey, man," because we did it with it was about the covers, and it was like, do you think these designers are going into the collective unconscious to
Dave,
uncover whatever?
Dave, do we have any 2025 updates from Ayahuasca Joe?
He's dead.
No, he's not. Actually,
He ended.
I'm forwarding you the email he sent me right now so you can read it out loud.
Oh, what? I got to open my email.
How was Ayahuasca Joe doing it? How does Ayahuasca Joe feel about cancel culture, Dave?
Yo, man, I was canceled a long time ago, and then I came back, and fuck that, I cancel you all.
Ayahuasca Joe, a little rusty there.
Yeah,
He'll be
I
back
told you
in
he's
true form.
dead.
Ayahuasca Joe needs another trip to Peru.
You're trying to
Yeah.
wake up a dead thing, man. Huh.
Yeah. Well, so Dave, you're all on your own today, right?
No, my
Oh, great.
son
My
is
family's home now. Perfect.
Oh.
Oh, God damn it.
The Dave soundboard never gets old. If we could find a way that I can use that, so when someone comes to my door, you just press a button, they think I'm home, like Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Well, Dave, I mean, how have you been feeling recently, just about yourself in general?
And I'm not a manly man.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know.
That's still true.
So I think that coming and bullshitting here together is super fun, but it is the self-publishing podcast. How much shit has changed, guys, since 2012 when we started this show, or was that when we started it?
Are we talking about administrations? Are we talking about...
Well, what a long, strange trip it's been, honestly.
The world is on fire.
Well, the world is on fire. Let's not talk about the world. Let's talk about self-publishing world.
Well, everything in self-publishing has changed. I think are we really talking about self-publishing? Okay.
On the self-publishing podcast?
Well, I thought we were talking about reunions. So
yeah, reunions.
Fuck those people.
I mean, it's what 100 times the competition, and it's pay to play. And
it's the Hunger Games.
It is the Hunger Games. It's rapid release, but it's still frontier. It's just you got to think about things differently, and I've always loved. I love the frontier. I love doing things that haven't been done before, and I still think that indie publishing has a lot of opportunities to do those things. You just have to kind of always be observant of the changing landscape.
Well, I didn't really tell the origin story of this episode. I mean, I told it to you guys, and I told it just kind of to my Substack, but I don't know how many people heard it. Is when Sean and I recorded this little chat that we did to promote the artist and author, it had a lot of SPP energy. Only Dave wasn't part of it. So since I'm doing that Kickstarter,
we did
a little chat. Right. And I got a lot of people saying, is it 2012 again? Dave turned off his camera. It really is 2012.
Because he's doing the truffle shuffle, but he only likes to do it in private.
Just gets the compulsion. But I thought I loved the energy. It was like, I remembered we were talking about like the early days when we were doing Unicorn Western, which of course started as a joke, and just the giddy enthusiasm of it. And I think that's when it kind of hit me that, I knew that it has gotten a lot less fun in self-publishing, but it kind of hit me anew. And I was like, well, let's do this because I think people want some of that fun back. So let's try to bring back the fun. We're bringing the sexy back, basically.
Yeah, fun is always, it's such a primary driver for me. If I'm not having fun, then it takes me longer to do less quality work. If I'm having fun, it's like I'm not working at all. So,
I'm thinking back to my dad, real hard ass. And when I was younger, I complained about the job I had because it was so goddamn boring. And he's like, jobs aren't supposed to be fun. If you're having fun at your job, you're not at a job.
Well,
so I'm not, I don't, fun is such an alien concept to me.
Yeah, but that is true. Like that's actually poisoned you a little bit as a creator, because there are times when you're actually like, there's a part of you that feels like if you're not suffering, it's not real. Like, it's true. You're always looking for a way.
Oh, I got to use that clip next time. If you're not suffering, then it's not real.
Welcome to Dave's therapy session.
Well, right, because how many times have you gone the harder route when there is a way to work smarter, but you're like, I will work harder. Like you're always willing to work harder, but it's like that toil was like kind of programmed in you.
Yeah, well, I like it up on my cross. What can I say?
Yeah,
I say put 2 spikes in each hand.
Well, how do you feel about doing a whole bunch more of Sean's crazy ideas, Dave?
No! Fuck you! Die, motherfucker! Oh!
These are all from one episode.
Is that true? Please be true.
I feel like the Purge could be Florida all the time, really.
I speak such words of wisdom. It's amazing. Like sometimes someone will mention something I said, and I'm like, wow, that's fucking genius. I said that.
Dave, do you think that sometime this year or next year, I could talk you into writing How to Win My Marriage or How to Win Your Marriage.
We'll see. We'll see.
Because
I don't know.
I really do think that you would have a bestseller there.
Yeah, and then my wife would divorce me and take half of the money. And now who won?
Yeah, well, I mean, we got a little bit of quiet right now.
Hopefully my wife won't come home.
Yeah.
She'll probably come home right in the middle.
That's chapter 4.
Right.
How to win your marriage.
Well, how did you guys
Alone.
get together?
She's probably turned to God because I don't spend much time with her, and she's got to find solace somewhere.
All right. I mean, that
Wow.
Wow, a deep cut.
I didn't know you recorded my therapy session. Jesus.
Well, so what have you been doing? Like, a lot of people
I can't
haven't
tell
caught up.
if he's setting up another soundbite or asking.
No.
Welcome to Dr. Demento.
Well, I mean, just don't ask Dave.
Johnny right now.
Just don't ask Dave what the public restroom he went to recently.
It
like.
smells like a fecal philiac's fucking wet dream.
Right. So, in all seriousness, aside from that, Dave, stop fucking around, Dave. What have you guys been doing? Like, we're kind of some OGs in this. What have we been doing in terms of publishing? I know, but tell everybody.
Yeah, you want to go first, Dave? Because Dave's basically Dave spends a lot of time stewing in his juices. Is probably the best way to put it.
Wow.
What?
Sean's asking what you've been doing over the past few years stewing in juices.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I was thinking of a joke there, but none of them are like unoffensive. So
why is that? Are you going to let?
Well, then here's a prompt for you, Dave. Here's a prompt for you. I want to hear some Dave stories about Redacted.
Oh,
yeah, David,
Jesus.
you don't want to actually tell any stories about what you've been doing. Just tell us.
I didn't
entertain us.
I didn't
Have
realize
there
that
been any
who's showing up as Doctor is Jan.
Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to tell a story that makes you really full of anxiety as you're telling it that you might get canceled because those are the best Dave stories. Like, I don't just want the joy of hearing the story, which will be great. I want to see the anxiety on your face.
Right. And it's best if you save some for after the show.
Oh,
like, if it's the kind of joke where you email us later and say we need to pull that out, that's what we're looking for.
I can't. I'm all out of Xanax, guys, so I can't do that joke.
Is that a true story?
Oh, it is true. I don't have Xanax at the moment, so I can't afford any anxiety attacks.
Have you been to Publix lately?
Yes, I went the other day, actually. Publix is very it's very peaceful.
Wow,
it's
that's the first time that's been said.
Yeah, no, Publix is nice. You go in there and like everything is nice. If you go into Winn-Dixie, it's like goddamn. It is like the Purge. It's just, and the funny thing is, usually when you go into a store like Winn-Dixie, where like everything is just a mess, the floors look like the floors at a strip club / adult video center with the booths in the back. And it just looks like hell. It looks like you just walked in after a massacre. And that is the normal state of Winn-Dixies I've been to. And yet their prices are way higher than anyone else's. It's like, what the fuck? I could see if it was cheap and you're like, okay, I'll go, like Walmart. Walmart's cheap and you're like, okay, I'll go have an anxiety attack in Walmart so I can get some cheap shit and deal with all the fucking people and the goddamn roto scooter things, whatever. But yeah, Publix is nice. I don't run into too many stupid people. There aren't people like, bashing each other over the heads for things.
How do you feel about the political climate in Florida right now?
Oh, fuck you.
Well, I mean, I think it's because of Dave's unique position in the world.
Yeah. I'm Satan's disciple.
I still can't believe I said that.
We're really not going to talk about books.
No, I just said, what have you been up to, Johnny?
Oh, we know what I've been up to. I'm so fucking sick of myself.
Shenanigans.
Oh, that is true. You did bring us all here. So if we're here listening, you probably heard from Johnny already. That is a good
Yeah, I mean, I was realizing, so if you've been living in a cave and don't, like, Dave probably didn't know I had a Kickstarter going on, right?
No.
Dave actually
but
might not have known you had a Kickstarter.
But I mean, I think I've been on like 10 podcasts and everything, and I listen to them all because, I guess, because I love myself.
Wait,
but
we
also
know why
because,
you listen to them all.
well, okay, so that's the answer. We'll all laugh about that, and it's true. But it's also because I notice that I tell the same stories over and over
with your left hand or your right hand.
with my right hand.
Johnny listens to himself when he's masturbating. It's podcasts.
Oh, right. So anyway, I've been everywhere. But I haven't. What I haven't done in quite a while is written much, and that's something that Sean and I are trying to rectify, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty exciting. We actually had a big giant a new idea, and it was big and ambitious and exactly the kind of thing that would get us really lost, and we redirected, and
we'll go back to that big idea, I think.
Yeah, we'll go back to the big idea, but we're so my mantra right now, I guess I'll do a little quick what's up, Sean, but where's Sean been? So I'm in this season of less is more. If I do more with the less that I have. So so 2022 was a pretty amazing year. We got a lot of IP out into film and television, and that was really, really fun. And then 2023, we had just a terrible year at Sterling and Stone. It was really, really rough. We lost our biggest ghosting client, which was kind of helping to fund our transition to film and television.
And this is a client who professionally just didn't return your texts.
Yes. This was basically the CEO of a company that we were dealing with did some naughty things, and millions of dollars went missing, including money that was supposed to be paid to us. So between the writer's strike and this disaster, Sterling and Stone was down almost $1 million within a 1 month period, and we spent a couple years climbing out of that. It was difficult, but we're on the other side of it, and things are kind of amazing, and we're just kind of a really fully operational company right now. And it was one of those things where, I mean, we've been a fully operational company for years, but
wait, fully operational?
Well,
like the Death Star?
There were a lot of things, going back from our earliest days, that legacy systems and legacy behaviors, and that just weren't really future proof at all, especially as much as the market has changed. And now it has like amazing leadership. Neve is our CEO, and she's phenomenal, and Shep is our COO, and he's just like, he's so dialed in on both genre and data, and it allows us to take a collective of many storytellers, and like kind of figure out everyone's zone of genius and where they should be writing, and it's really, really cool. And so even the first year after the disaster was really hard, and that was the first year we had our summer camp, but we all came together and it was amazing. And then we had the second year, and we like really, really bonded. And then just 2 weeks ago we had our third summer camp, and
it's like Lord of the Flies summer camp.
Yeah, well, it was a little loose.
I love that Dave's asking questions about the summer camp of the company that he's in.
Yeah, hopefully with the fourth year, Dave is going to actually visit Austin and come to the ranch, be a part of the company that he's been there from the beginning.
I was invited to one of them. I got to go to one. That was
we still had cool. Storytellers from all over the world. And
I'm sorry, I was busy trying to make money blowing hobos.
There's a new soundbite.
Dave, have you taken any walks?
Hold on. We got compliments. Hold on.
Oh,
okay. Oh, from GMAC, OMG weekly viewer back in the day. You guys need to keep these going. The trio is unbeatable. Legends. I mean, obviously, I agree with that.
I love that you could put this shit on the screen while podcasting has evolved.
Yeah, we look all pro.
It's
now.
so easy to look professional with these tools.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
so if you want
all sorts of shit.
That's Sean's mom.
It is big. I'm a big beautiful nose. For those of you just listening, Johnny put check out the size of Sean's nose right on the screen. It's like I'm in
and yet your nose still blocked it out. It was weird. You couldn't even see it.
I just had to dip down.
Dave, there's been a question here about whether you've taken any walks lately. I did refer to the Walking Dave podcast, the late great Walking Dave podcast.
Yeah, I take walks, and it's weird because like I don't talk to my neighbors. And the one time I decided to talk to a neighbor, this woman was outside and there was a cat in her yard, and I love cats and I can't have a cat anymore. Don't ask.
Wait, no,
wait, hold on. That's the point where we ask.
Yeah, no, I actually think we should just stop there.
No, my wife will not let us have cats anymore
wait,
because she's robbing joy of my life.
Okay, so it's your wife. This isn't like the law didn't come.
Sir, you've had enough cats.
How does
One is enough.
My speakers.
Dave, how does your wife respond to you these days?
She rolls her eyes more than anybody I've ever met.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
That's
How
still
many of
true.
those do you have, Johnny?
A lot. A lot. And what was the one? I can't remember the one that that we were missing earlier. That was pretty good. But I don't remember. I'm actually kind of.
I know how to find your soft parts.
Right, trying to remember where that one came from. So anyway,
I think that was in my was in my wedding speech. I think the threat level, the threat phase of the wedding speech.
Okay, so you're taking your walk. You've run across the cat in the yard, and you're talking to the neighbor. So what horrible thing happened?
So I'm talking to this lady with her cat outside, and she's like, yeah, they're not even her cats. Like her friend gave her the cats to look after, and she doesn't want them. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'll get cats. And I'm like, all happy, because the way I see it is, if a cat showed up at our house, my wife would have to take it in because she's a kind-hearted person. But I can't go out and get one. So short of me going to the pound, getting a cat, putting it in a box outside,
trying to manipulate her, does that make you less kind-hearted?
Oh, I never claimed to be kind-hearted. I mean, I am a do unto others sort of person, so I don't fuck with anybody and all that. But if you're robbing me of the joy of having a cat,
people from New York.
Oh no, I love people from New York. I don't like people from Florida.
Hold on, there was a conditional there that you interrupted. If you're robbing me of the joy, there's got to be. I can't wait for the then.
Well, if you're robbing me of the joy of having a cat, then you know that the rules have changed. The rules of warfare have changed. How to Win Your Marriage, Chapter 7. So I'm talking to this lady, and all of a sudden she just starts telling me about all this drama in the neighborhood. Like there's a guy that like moved in down the street and he nearly ran someone over, and then that woman got upset with him, and the father and the mother were both yelling at this guy, and the guy has like a bag of guns and shit. And I'm like, this is way too much. Yeah. A bag of fucking guns.
Like, okay, wait.
Like a big military duffel full of bags.
Okay,
of guns.
So like a duffel bag or like a hefty bag? Because
no.
What's the different character?
He's like Art the Clown with a bag full of body parts. No. So he has a duffel
Art the
bag.
Clown reference.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's telling me all this stuff, and I'm like, I'm just trying to get out of the conversation now because no good can come of this. So then she's like,
is that how you feel about at least 90% of all conversations?
Yeah, I regret so many of them. You know, whenever I go out with my son, he's like amazed that like all these people talk to me. Like, you know, if we go to the store, people like, because I'm a friendly guy actually sometimes. So he's surprised because he knows like that I hate people, but he's like, well, why are all these people talking to you? And I said, well, sometimes I fuck up and I'm nice to them. So anyway, this lady's telling me the story, and then she's like, yeah, I'm probably not going to have a house for very long. And like all these things, all of a sudden I'm like, I'm watching the wheels turn. I'm like, oh shit, I was nice to her. Now she don't want to fucking move into our house. So I'm like,
that's
I ended that conversation.
That's a sensible leap.
It happens to me. You don't understand. I am a weirdo magnet.
This
just
is
out of
probably a bad
curiosity,
time, Dave, but can I live in your house?
I'm just wondering, like in the history of ever, has there ever been somebody who, after one conversation, they invited themselves to live with you?
Like a
Not
vampire.
yet. Not yet.
Dave, if I could, if I can come and live with you, what's one request you would make of me to even things out?
Would either of you two mind raising my son for about a year or so?
Oh yeah, no problem. No problem. Good. Good.
You motherfucking dickhead!
Yeah. I mean, we don't even need him at all anymore.
No, my work here is done.
I do feel seriously like we could take all of the old podcast episodes and make Dave bot. Like it would be pretty straightforward to make a Dave bot.
Well,
See,
Blaine
I hate
asked
you all,
this vital question right here. How many decoy wallets does Dave walk around with these days?
I can't tell. Because if I tell, then the people listening will know how many layers of security I have. So if I say I have 3 and I give out 1, they'll be like, no, I know you got 3, motherfucker.
Okay,
Give me the other 2.
Do you think it's time to think bigger? I mean, after the danger that you just had with this conversation, maybe a decoy house might be in order. So you're like, yes, you can come and live with me.
Yeah, and then lead them to like the derelict house down the
empty
street.
House, right? Or you're living it up in your house, like 2 blocks away.
I would like a decoy house away from my family.
I like how
there's another sound bite.
Like they don't know what you think about them.
Yeah, the great thing about this recording platform, so we're using a platform called Riverside, and the great thing about it is it records in separate tracks, unlike in the Stone Ages. So that means that I can isolate anything Dave is saying for the future.
Oh, beautiful.
Actually, AI can probably do it. AI can probably do it.
There's a way to like AI, Johnny. It makes Dave more entertaining.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so here's a little, first of all, I have to know, is that the end of that story?
Yeah, that's the end. There was no other ending to
The end
it.
was
I
that
mean,
you were afraid she was going to come live with you.
I never saw her again after that. She like the house is like like it never existed. I mean, the house is there, but nobody else is there. So,
well,
I murdered her. That's the end of the story. There, is that better?
Well,
I say, well, I can't have her coming here, so I'm gonna have to kill her. Yeah.
Importantly, we're discovering new ways that I can make money. So this quote from Jan, I still fondly remember the "Have Yourself a Very Davy Christmas" episode of Better Off Undead. Maybe re-uploading it could be another stretch goal for my Kickstarter.
Oh, was that a Better Off Undead and not a?
I don't know.
Yes,
Better Off Undead.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because we never really talked about it. I was going to say it doesn't seem appropriate to self-publishing, but then there's this episode too.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I was just like, well, we're not staying on topic, and then I thought, well, we never did stay on topic. So
well, yeah, you're the best host out of all 3 of us by far. By the way, Dave and I tried to resurrect a Write Publish Repeat show last year. Oh my God, you guys, 3 is a charm, 2 is not. If Dave is like, because it was like, hey Dave, can you run this podcast? It's going to be your show, and I'm going to come on occasionally, but you're going to interview a bunch of people, and I'll be like the Justin Timberlake of the show, and I'll just be a freak.
Hey, you put your dick in a box. That doesn't give you the right to call you Justin Timberlake.
And so, like, we're 2 episodes in, and Dave's like, can you just do this with me? And then it turns into like really, really soon, it's basically my show that he's showing up for. Oh my God, not fun. That's my whole story.
Speaking of dick in the box, speaking of putting your dick in a box, I've been having trouble with dictation. Is there anything I can do about that?
Wow, that's a very natural segue.
Of course it is. Of course it is. And I don't know what to do about that. Dave, what would I do? What would I do about that? Would I just put my dick further in the box?
You could put your dick further in the box, or you can shout your story. Like if you don't want to type or your hands are broken from too much pumping iron, you can shout. You could shout your story into the ether. And I believe that somehow, some way, the words will magically collate into a text that you can use.
And if there were a product there, that would be Story Shout. Clearly, right?
Story Shout. Yeah, you shout into the
Actually,
ether.
I think that that Dave should have a bespoke version of Story Speak that is just for him, and it's called.
Whoa, hold on. There's a real fucking thing here. I don't know what.
What?
This is the first I'm hearing about
Sean
this.
just stepped all over it.
Oh my god, what an asshole! We're just trying to have a normal show, and he's like, "Oh, like I'm gonna get my fingers in this."
His nose,
so-
you mean?
So if there were an app that you were trying to shoehorn in an ad read, because of course we need an ad read, what would it be called and what would it do, Sean?
It would be called Story Speak, and it would take your very raw transcriptions and turn them into finished copy.
What?
What? What? What? That's a real fucking thing?
What? Jesus, I think the question is, do I have anything to lose? Because that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I'm going to get into this and I'm just going to lose everything.
You have nothing to lose. You can literally right now, literally, and you know how I love it when people use literally in a sentence. You can literally go to storyshop.ai and get 20,000 free words and just start story.
20,000 free words.
You can just
But I
shout
have
it.
everything to lose, though. That's really the problem.
You have nothing to lose.
Do I get a power pack upgrade valued at
You
$99
can.
by any chance?
You can send. You can go into the help column and put in a request ticket for a power pack upgrade and see what that gets.
What's the value of 20,000 words? Is it $99? Because if it's not, fuck off.
I actually don't know the value. For me, the value is in save time. I really like to not waste time, and
Like the show?
well,
I can tell.
well, yes, but I'm clearly wasting my time right now. But at least I'm laughing, and that's great.
What if I have a slow and languishing voice like Ayahuasca Joe? Dictation's never going to work.
No, dictation will work. Dictation.
What if I'm from Florida and I can't talk normals? Could I use Story Speak? Yeah, wait a second. Okay, if I'm using Story Speak and I gotta shoot some people outside, will it edit out the shots?
Will it?
Because I needs to know.
No! Fuck you! Die, motherfucker!
Yes, I love that we have David stereo now. So the answer is yes. Niney in our studio, she has this thick Appalachian accent that she uses for her dialects and her characters. Her accent is thick. But guess what? She's been trying to dictate for, I don't know, when would Dragon come out? Like 20 years ago? A long time.
Dragons have been a long motherfucking time, dude.
Yeah,
They're not
and so,
new.
now she's
No,
been
this is
doing
just-
a book a month using Story Speak, and it's great. And so yes, this was a tragically bad ad read that we tried to do in our old tragically bad style. But the reason is because Malcolm, the developer of Story Speak, has been working with us for a couple of years, and everyone who has used this product has literally changed their writing game. And we have people who are ridiculously productive who were having a hard time before, and it is the best tool like this I have ever seen. So yes, please go to storyspeak.ai. It's awesome.
Okay, but I think the important thing about Malcolm is he to the left, to the right, or is he in the middle?
He's definitely firmly in the middle.
Hey, by the way, they're doing a reboot of that show. Not a reboot. They're doing a return to it.
Wait,
So
you mean
Bryan
with, like, Frankie
Cranston will
Muniz?
be
It's like old.
coming off of.
They're doing the
Yeah.
same thing with Scrubs. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't.
No,
With the
no.
same
How much are you
people?
getting paid for that?
Sean doesn't get it.
Joey Lawrence is the guy who made Scrubs, but he's had two big hits with Ted Lasso and Shrinking on Apple, and so Zach Braff is coming back, and I don't know who else is coming back. I think Zach Braff and whoever played Elliot, and
Donald Faison's got a
Eric
big
Shaw.
yeah, he's coming back too. Yeah.
Okay, so just diverting here from that horrible ad read we shall never speak of again. By the way, we wanted to do an ad read, and I was gonna like do a fake one for like 66 layouts or whatever, and Sean was like, no, we can be more practical than that. So that's what happens when we try to think on the fly. All right, so here's a little bit of here's some Matthew says, is Write Publish Repeat not coming back? It's a fantastic show.
Yeah, that's the one I was referring to earlier. That was me and Dave, and Dave doesn't like
Sean
to do
killed it.
things that require like timing or schedules or consistency, and it's
I have to
fun.
wake up while the sun is still out.
Yeah, it just that kind of thing didn't work because I didn't want to manage the show. I was like, hey Dave, we could do this, it could be your thing. I was going to help him build this thing. I did a write, publish, repeat, which that'll come out at some point. Like, it is modernized, and we'll put that out again. And yes, there will be cool stuff that we'll put out, but that show is not coming back. Dun dun dun.
All right, hold on. I got actually a legit like thread here. Okay, so there's 3 of them, so we're just going to go through them. So from GMAC, I hope this isn't an unpopular thing to say, but perhaps you can shed some light on it. Back in the day, the excitement of the podcast was seeing you all working on your latest novel, exciting ideas, and striving for that big hit bestseller. Well, that shit ain't coming. Then it went off in a different direction and some amorphous behind the scenes thing. Are we ever going to get to see you guys? And we never got to see you guys again in an exciting way. Why the pivot, and can we get the old team back? So the way that I'm reading that is that, throughout the self-publishing podcast, it's like we were in this. I'm going to try to answer this in the way I understand it, and then you guys can let me know. When the self-publishing podcast was new, and I talked about this in the artist and author book, it's actually what kind of started some of this nostalgia for me, was it was exciting and fresh, and there were no rules, and we were making it up as we went along, and you guys were there with us, and there was this energy around it, and it was fun, for want of a better, more complex term. But it was also frontier because there was nothing we knew for sure. And then the industry started to mature, and it started to become a little bit more prescriptive, a little bit more sort of left-brained with a little bit more rules. And then we ended up trying to keep up, like to keep the podcast going. Well, shall we say competent people were increasingly entering the field. People who were organized, who were professional, who didn't just show up and tell dick jokes like we do. And then the show didn't
mom
really
jokes like Dave does.
Sean's mom jokes.
Or do 99 design ad reads, which reference certain holocausts.
Wow,
certain ones.
It
Well,
didn't even take him a whole episode.
Yeah, I mean, all right. Well, but we had steered clear of those lawsuits, but here it comes right back.
Way to bring it back, Dave.
Yeah, AI is going to report that to them.
And it's a good time culturally too.
Yeah. Right. But it was like once we no longer had kind of novelty and like the fun to offer. I mean, we always had the fun to offer, but we didn't have information to offer in a better way than other people who were more organized and who could stay on topic and stuff. And then we started, I don't know, it's like we didn't know, we had an identity crisis with the podcast, and it kind of became a story studio podcast. And I mean, I'll take some of the responsibility there. I didn't know where to put it. But it just kind of fizzled, and it wasn't once we in the box. I don't know if this is answering the question at all, but I mean, we never got to see you guys in an exciting way. Why the pivot, and can we get the old team back? Well, the old team's back right now. We would have to offer something completely different. That's the thing. We couldn't offer like publishing advice because, number one, I don't want to give publishing advice in the way we would need to on a podcast. And number two, I just don't think that's where we are in a podcast way. I don't know. I'll stop talking now.
Yeah, no, I think that that about covers it. I think there's a little more to it in that there was also a time where just the way that we were publishing stuff and the way that the audience connected with us, it was actively damaging our growth. So we had way higher also bots in, writing related books when Dave and I would put out a thriller. And it got expensive to change those also bots out over time. And it felt like it was more hard and not as much fun. And Johnny over time was getting more like Dave. and so it was hard. Like the fun wasn't there, and all 3 of us were driven on fun, and it became a little more like homework. And so we were having an identity crisis inside the company too, because we wanted to get away from nonfiction and back into fiction. And, it just felt like after a while, it was just better to just go do fiction behind closed doors, because everything that we talked about that we were doing would actually end up kind of hurting us. And so we really wanted to make that transition to film and television and just do the work. So we just got really dialed in about developing IP and developing funnels and getting more storytellers to work together. And we just really wanted to do stuff behind the scenes, without the door open, because we were very transparent, and a lot of times that transparency bit us, either the way the algorithms would work, or just like reputationally, and
or we ended up giving inadvertent advice. Some of it was meant as advice and some was not.
Yeah, it just it felt like there was a lot of responsibility, and the fun wasn't there, and we are all very driven by fun, and once that stopped, it got harder to maintain, which would have been fine, but the business was also atrophying, and we had to clean up the business, and we had to get going, and we're now, there's 40 of us, so there's just a lot of responsibility to get it to a working story studio that can live up to its potential. And so it took a few years, and now I mean, we've been talking about doing some version of this reunion episode for literal years now, but I always wanted it to be when I feel in a really good place, and I'm ready to come back, and I have things to say, and I actually have a lot to say now, and it's been
Wait. You have a lot to say now.
Well, I have a lot to say that I'm.
Wait, you mean you were quiet before?
No, he was holding back.
I've been publicly quiet for many years, but really building, behind the scenes. And then last year, in our final year of kind of getting back on top after getting hit really hard, was Neve became CEO, and then she had been COO, and then Shep became COO, and I stepped away as founder to kind of go and find some things. And then that was my talk at summer camp, was things I found, which, Dave, there is a video of it if you want to watch it. You didn't have to be there live.
Yeah, I would much rather watch. I'd much rather watch Sean's Things I Found video than Dave's Things I Found.
I was promoted to FU.
Definitely. But that year was really great. This last year has been awesome. I've really dove deep into IP expansion, working with a lot of different people in a lot of different spaces, and figuring out how to put circuitry between their IP. And I really love that space, and I'm just feeling really grounded and really happy right now. And so I'm not feeling like we're solidified as a company now, that I don't mind sharing and being transparent in a way where I felt like before that was really getting in our way.
So when you were talking earlier, Dave leaned in. Was there something you wanted to say, Dave?
The sheer force of my hate can drive a vehicle.
All right. So was there something you actually wanted to say?
I was just going to make a stupid joke, but it's long past time. So
by all means, by all means.
I was going to say, the problem is, and this goes back to another lesson my father taught me, was we try to help people, and whenever you try to help people, you're going to get fucked in the end. So never help anyone.
Dave,
did your father ever teach you lessons that he told you were a secret?
What the fuck?
So
how to dispose of a body, or
let me show you guys.
He did teach me how to fight by knocking me down.
Oh, right.
I'll show you how to fight, and he walked up to me, put his foot behind me, and shoved me down.
Well, I don't think
sounds like a Dave story.
Yeah, I feel like the word is not education, so much as abuse right there.
It wasn't abuse.
So
it's not abuse if they say they love you.
So GMAC,
when he helped you up, did he say, "Look what you made me do"?
So GMAC said this. Something to think about is that many people, including myself, were not there for tips. We just love the personalities together and spending time hearing you guys shooting the shit and hearing the latest. Yeah, thank you. That's what I got, was the magic of the show too. The trick was finding a way to just hang, because you need to talk about something, right? So honestly, I've done, I have a small podcast now with just a couple of local friends called the Wandering Book Club on my Substack. And that's kind of what we do, because there's one other writer on that show, but also two readers. And we just kind of talk about books and book stuff. So, I mean, we could probably do something like that, but our substance of our chats was always self-publishing. So once we didn't have that, it was, I mean, do we literally just get together and, hey, what's going on in your life? I mean,
Well,
maybe.
yes, and that's what I pitched. But so Johnny didn't like. He want. Well, what's the point if there's not a point? We
Well,
can't do it.
well, no, hold on a second. In my defense, I still, if you pitched a podcast today that said, "Well, just show up and just say whatever," like I would still.
Worst show ever?
Like we need to have something.
Right, but it's not whatever. You have a title for the show and just let the conversation roll, or come up with a great title after the conversation. I think that, like, how many stories have we written that way? We have a very good premise, and then we kind of reverse engineer it when we're done. And so that's very appealing to me. Like if I can, I loved the podcast originally. One of the best things that ever happened in my life was Johnny sending me an email in 2012, early 2012, that was like, dude, let's do a podcast. Because that was such an easy yes for me, even though it wasn't automatic. But, in the scheme of things, it's great because you can show up at this one time and be yourself. And at the time, like before that, I was building like list after list after list after list. And I had to do it by writing. And I didn't know whether something that I was working on was going to take 30 minutes or 6 hours. And the idea of showing up every Friday for 1 hour exactly was very, very appealing to me. And I could just be myself. And in the first few years, like, that's amazing. Like, I am absolutely at my best when I don't hold back, when I'm just speaking passionately, when I'm just talking from my heart. And that was so easy to do in the early days. And then it got harder. It got harder because strategies that we were talking about were hurting us. Our actual brand names were getting damaged by having nonfiction, fiction in a way that we shouldn't have been mixing the peanut butter and the chocolate. Meanwhile, a lot more was happening behind the scenes where, like, I had to filter what I'm saying, which isn't, like, that's just not a good space for me. I just like to be open.
Because we were trying not to fuck up also bots.
Because we're trying not to fuck up also bots. And then there was like a little bit of culture clash in our company for a little while before we had to, like, mature and clean house and grow up a little bit. So all of those things kind of conspire to make it difficult to just show up and be, ourselves. And at the end, I was making the argument to Johnny that, like, look, like, let's just talk. Let's just, like, but it got hard. It got hard. But, now we're we're all in different places. Yeah. So I do think that there is a magic to being able to, just connect. And so with, there, little spoiler alert, we actually had so much fun in the first half hour of this show before we got on live and talking over the last, week or so about it, that we are percolating a possible idea. Because that is it. If, like, we can just show up and, like, we love each other, we know that there's chemistry.
Wait, what?
All right. I know it's up Dave's butt. It's his finger right now.
Yeah, I mean, tell us how you really feel, Dave.
You motherfucking dickhead.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that honestly, I think that it was like one of those it was a closed loop in a weird way, because if there was no purpose, it felt like, what's the center for me? But if we decide up front that there's no purpose with a capital P, we're not, at least from my end, like, I'm not trying to build, like, write, publish, repeat, or if I am, I'm writing my own thing like I did for the artist and author. We're not trying to turn the podcast into, like, a group a JV or something.
No, it's not a group thing. It's that I'm always going to be excited to have a platform to talk about the shit that's exciting to me. So remember, a long time ago, I don't think you ever quite clicked with this when I was describing what the business is to me, was
the business, like Sterling and Stone.
Yeah, like, very early, I'm like, my business model is I make shit and I talk about it. And that's it. Like, I'm like 10 years later, that's even deeper how I feel. Like, I just want to go make shit, and then I want a platform to talk about it. Like, that's great. And if a situation like this where I can, talk to friends just about story and, like, the things, like, in natural conversation, that's so easy for me.
I have a play off of that, actually. Interestingly, this was one of those things, like, a thought kind of occurred to me. So I need to tell a little bit of backstory. So so just
Remember
for
when
those,
we had a podcast called Backstory?
oh, I do. Yeah, we record, guys. We recorded over a year of podcasts that never got released.
It was all
Over
about
a
the
year.
anal porn industry.
And we were waiting. They were. I thought a lot of them were really good. Like
We
when
still
Dave
have
made
those.
us
We
watch.
could do that as a bonus. If we
We could just-
actually
yeah, we
do
could
a new
just-
podcast, we could do that as a bonus.
We could share those, and it's like when so we would watch a movie that one of us was. They were
Wait,
cool. Like, we
remember
should
when
put that
Dave
back
made
out.
us watch that one movie? What was-
Right, made us watch I Saw the Devil. That's the one. What I was going to mention.
God damn you, Dave.
We have
Alright,
a
so-
year's worth of in jokes and nobody will understand.
It's okay. So I'm just remembering that I have all those episodes. I should probably do something with them. But anyway, to continue just this little bit of backstory, since I'm not. We separated professionally. So like I'm on my own, and Sean and Dave are in Sterling and Stone, along with all these other great storytellers. And there's a kind of an emotional overlap, but we're separated, like literally.
I'm on my own, really. I mean, come on.
Well, that's true. Dave's kind
I'm
of.
in a
Dave, you've
silo
always been on
always.
your own.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm a
it's kind of
lone
like
wolf.
in Friends when Joey was doing something and they were like, "Wait, do you not work here anymore?" And he's like, "No, I haven't for like 6 weeks or something."
Dave just exists in the various Slacks, and he's there. Everybody would love to see him at summer camp, but
If you say my name 3 times, I will show up.
Appear behind you in
You
the
might
mirror.
die.
So anyway, what I've been doing is much more one-on-one, like the artist and author thing that the Kickstarter is going on right now for is like it's more connection based, it's less algorithmic, it's very direct. And anyway, so I thought that like I'm most successful when all I do is kind of make friends and talk to people. Like that's the way I'm selling books now. And so anyway, I wrote down, this is me playing off of make stuff and talk about it, is I wrote down on a pad, I said, it's my job is to make art and be interesting.
yeah.
So it's actually
dude.
pretty damn similar, and I never made that connection.
Yeah,
so
that
all
has
we need
been
to do is be
my
interesting.
my very simple like model for a long time, and I want to like I've just been writing like crazy for the last many years. I have so much stuff that I've written and not put out in nonfiction and fiction, and like I've been busy building a company and advising new companies and just doing a lot of shit. And now I'm like kind of caught up on everything, and it's this whole new season, and I do have 2 other podcasts that are in early development. So like I do like things in threes. I could very easily be talked into this. It just needs to be the right container.
Do you
But,
guys think that I think that from my perspective, because I was thinking it did start hurting us, that we would be on the show and we would talk about publishing stuff, and then people would buy our publishing books and they would fuck up the also bots, they would screw up the algorithms.
Yeah.
I actually, I might be different for you guys. From my perspective, I don't think that would matter at all anymore.
No, that wouldn't matter at all for me, because I want to move into more direct sales, and I want to publish cooler stuff. Like I want to do different shit than I did before. Like that's I'm ready, and like
Yeah,
even
my
right
Amazon
now-
sales for the month are like $200 right now, and we're it last month was like $200. We're in a new month now, so it's like fuck whatever's happened with also bots. I just don't care. It's not where I'm making my money.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried. I mean, first of all, algorithms work differently than they used to. Anyway, we got hit at the worst possible time when they were transitioning, and when like weights were different, and we didn't understand it, so we didn't do anything to buttress ourselves against that. And like we're smarter now. We're like we have teams. I didn't like Shep is amazing at data, so he is going to. He is not going to steer us wrong. Like we do a lot of testing, and if something doesn't pass a test, then it goes to the back of the line, and we optimize. So I'm not worried about that. I think that it's time. Like I'm happiest when I am just creating and communicating. Those are my 2 favorite things to do, and I the most joy I ever had with any sort of platform was in the heyday of SPP, and I loved our in-person conferences. I think those were like some of the
I
best
loved
ones we've ever
attending them.
done.
I hated holding them. Like
Yeah.
organizing them and everything was a nightmare, but I loved being there.
Yeah,
Try driving to them.
I loved the community.
Well, I mean, there was the option to fly.
Staying in a place with bloody sheets.
Bloody sheets. Dave, I mean, you say that, but I don't think that those were blood stains. I think you're crazy.
It is blood. Come on. I know Bloodstained.
And it was. I still maintain that.
Do you guys have a hard stop at 4 Central?
I don't.
No.
Okay. Well, because I just wanted to share some of these. So just it is funny because I just for transparency, like once we booked this, in my mind, I started saying, damn, I wish I could have some of that energy back. And I told Sean about it on Wednesday, and your reaction was kind of underwhelmed. It was kind of like, yeah, you just want the nostalgia. And I don't know that that really works. But then this idea to maybe do something is brand fucking new. So we're not bullshitting you guys about this. Like that was right before we started recording. Sean kind of pitched the idea of maybe doing a podcast that's super low key. So I just wanted to share some of the comments here.
The reason is because I am so my mom. So if you've listened to us for any period of time, you probably know that I pick a North Star word for each year, and I also pick like I've started to have like a phrase, and so this is 2 phrases together. So my word of the year is regeneration. Taking a lot of things that were great at one point and bringing them back. Like I am going to bring Write, Publish, Repeat back and modernize it for 2025 or 2026 if I can't get to it until later this year. But like I want to regenerate that. Like the idea of regenerating,
that's all you, dude.
But what?
No, I said that's all you. I don't want anything to do with that project. Yeah. So God bless.
Yeah.
My word is apocalyptic.
Yeah, it's already 90% done. It's good. So regeneration, but also my phrase has been less is more if I do more with the less that I have. And I didn't want to add another podcast on, but I do have 2 and a third. Like I can see how I can fit that together. But more importantly, I thought of the hook. I thought of like, okay, well, here's how it fits into the larger picture rather than just being something else that I'm agreeing to, because it's taken a long time to get to this place, but we're officially at a place where we're not looking for opportunity. We are actively measuring the opportunity cost of anything that lands in front of us. And so I don't want to be, like the squirrel. Like I want to be dialed in. I want to make sure that my patterns are healthy, and that, if I'm fine making mistakes. I'm not fine making the same mistakes twice. And so I want to make sure that if we do this, it's really additive. And I thought of the hook that could make it really cool. So
I have a lot of thoughts on this, but Dave, in all seriousness, where do you stand on this? Like, I'm not going to play a sound clip. Do you, do you,
I don't trust him either, Dave.
Who hasn't been alone in a theater masturbating?
Who hasn't been alone in a porn theater touching
in
themselves? That was it.
Right
and
now.
I couldn't find that one, that soundbite. So, in all seriousness though, would you, what would you want out of a new show if we were to do one?
Oh, I mean, I just, I enjoy the
flashlights.
The fleshlight fun that we had together, all 3 of us. No, I enjoy the camaraderie, the friendship, the jokes. I did feel, I did feel sometimes, especially with Worst Show Ever, like that it was sort of contingent on me having something to rant about, and I don't always have something to rant about.
You felt that a little bit. I would say that was 100% the truth of that.
and what I was
think
trying.
You sound paranoid.
What's that?
You sound paranoid to me.
I do.
Yeah.
Me? Paranoid? Everything I predicted ever has come true. How am I paranoid?
I feel like with Dave, I'm constantly adjusting the volume of my speakers.
I know. So, what was the end of that thought, Dave?
Oh, the end of it is I enjoy all of this. I enjoy the friendship. As you know, I have no friends by choice. So, yeah, I definitely be game for it. Yeah.
Well, when I kind of stepped away from this whole author facing thing, I thought I just wanted to be a fiction writer. And I've told this story a few times. Maybe some of you have heard it, but then I realized, I went too far, and I have this extrovert side of me. And so selling in person has helped a lot of that. But then I found separately, once I started, it started with that Author Nation presentation on the artist and author. And then Sean and I were talking. Sean's like, well, you should write that book. You should write the artist and author book. And I think at that point,
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, you did. You did well. There might have been a reason you didn't remember it. Might have been the circumstances of the discussion.
Oh, well, all right.
Might have
That
been a
does sound
lighter
like something
involved.
I would say.
Yeah,
whether I was
exactly.
smoking or not.
It does. So, but anyway, once I started kind of putting my head there, I was like, and not only did I have the extrovert side that I missed, but I'm going to talk about this stuff no matter what. And that's one of the reasons that I do the One Drink Book Club, is because it is an outlet to talk about writing and stuff. And then I started writing on the Substack, and I'm like, why deny it? Like, why deny it? Apparently I'm going to talk about publishing. I can't just be a fiction author. Like I have fucking opinions, and I'm loud about my opinions. So I guess I'm going to do this. So I do like the idea of it a lot. I just wouldn't want it to become another thing. And so the idea that we're maybe kicking around would serve to slot it into, like, it would make it possible for all three of us. But it would kind of be tied to something. I don't want to speak because we haven't really talked about it. It would be tied to something kind of
Would you be
promotional, but not in a way that
story-speaking
would.
if you did?
Yeah, maybe I would. All right. Well, so it would be it'd have to be the Story Speak podcast, but like we just have an obnoxious ad read, and we'd fuck with Sean about it a little bit, and we'd have fun with them. But really, it would just be us getting together and speaking about story, right? Like that would be the hook. And if you want a glimpse into Sean's brain, it was so funny. We were like, he's like, well, I wouldn't have time for a podcast, but now that I'm doing 2 other podcasts, it's the perfect time to add a third. And I'm like, so doing more work, doing 2 podcasts makes it more likely. If you'd have said, I no longer have any podcasts, now I can do a podcast.
Well, no, because okay, so there is a reason for this. So I'm working with a client right now who is developing.
And sorry, I feel the need to be super clear that this is not some sort of a plan that we're like we're brainstorming this. It's not like we said we're going to do a reunion show and then we're going to launch a new podcast. None of that is true. This was supposed to be one fucking show.
No, but I do legit have a couple of podcasts that are in production, and part of it is just like they're for other business interests that I have that actually, well, one of them is related to Sterling and Stone, and one is really not even related to Sterling and Stone, and they're both like, it doesn't matter. The point is that starting one podcast is like, okay, now there's podcasts on like it's a whole thing, where this is like, okay, well, now I have my little podcast, and this is something to grow, is the podcast department. And that makes sense. And there's a couple of clients that I'm working with who are developing podcasts, and by working with them, like I'm going to get some natural mentorship on how to make our shows better. And like it's just like
better
in a very loose way. And I
don't want to try too hard.
I'm talking about my other 2.
Yeah, no, dude, I don't want to try hard either.
Yeah,
like
that needs to I don't want to try hard either.
Like the minute we would get together and say we're going to, it's going to have an end game that we're going to like do another write, publish, repeater. No, like it's just a fuck
I see
around.
it as a place where we can each show up and talk about the shit that's important to us while talking about story.
So to answer some of the questions earlier, like we would talk about, and I think it's a little too unless you want to mention it, Sean. Like Sean and I have decided on our next project. Do you care?
I don't care. I'd like, dude, I like when I could just talk about shit. Like that's
okay. Well, then let's just do that, because we had to hold our cards close. I think
there's a little bit of that. I mean, I still work with a lot of people where I have NDAs, and that will only become more and more true. But I think that's a different thing. I think
so does Dave, but for totally different reasons. Although Dave enforces his NDAs with a ball gag. Enforce that shit. Let me burn through some of these contents here, because people are so first of all, like, we're getting a lot of support in the comments, which is kind of cool. I guarantee you that if we do this, people are going to be like, oh, well, they were just lining it up and it was all like, whatever, though. I honestly don't care anymore.
Don't care. Like, I don't care. Like that's the that's the thing. I don't, the audience for a while like was driving the show, and I think that we need to drive the show. I think it's cool. I think the chemistry of, you're on this artisan author thing, I'm in this like IP expansion thing, and Dave is still
I'm in hell.
Yes, Dave is still in hell and living the life as a pure artist, right? These are three very different perspectives that we could bring to conversation. So if, hey, we're talking about like The Bear, just as an example, and we all watch The Bear, we're gonna have
Now that's a
very
different discussion coming from you versus Dave.
The
right.
bear that eats my cookies. That's
Yeah.
a great.
Actually, I wasn't even trying to bring the bear back, but I do understand. Oh, and bareback. Bareback did something different to Dave too.
All right, so all right,
Well,
so
I didn't want to talk about your mom again, but
all right, so Michelle here says people are looking for connection and community. This has been a big deal. I'm realizing like more and more as I think about this, like we are in an increasingly depersonalized and also polarized and kind of angry world. And the idea of just connecting and just having a space, I think is valuable. So just +1 on that. Now the audio, the comments are coming fast enough that like I can't find the ones that I'm looking for because I keep getting about it. Okay, so I'm going to skip the ones that kind of we've kind of already covered. Okay, so here, Francesco, do you think podcasts need to have video now, or is audio only still as powerful? Well, I think that depends on whether we want to go live. Like if we want to do this and have you guys here live, then I would want to do video. But otherwise, there's no, I mean, I have another audio only podcast. I guess it just depends on what we wanted to do.
I actually think so if I was advising somebody, I'd be like, do one or the other and make it really good. Don't try to do both. But in our effort to not be that good, I think we should do both.
Yeah.
You know,
we should
because,
totally divide,
like,
do both,
right,
make
like,
them both subpar as possible.
right. Like, look,
Right,
I
right,
want to
right.
like we're gonna record video anyway because I want to see you guys. I think that's important. I think that the interaction gains something, and if we're already filming it, why not put it on YouTube? So
As subpar as possible to take a name. We can use that, I think.
Right. Subparasapossible.com. Somebody grab it.
I kind of like that.
Corey says, man, Johnny, we trust you guys. If you do anything after this chat we get to be a part of, we consider that a huge win. Thank you. And
All right, now time to get to the pyramid scheme. All right, here we go, guys.
The fisting funnel.
Funnel fisting.
Is it the fisting funnel? I mean, there's a lot of I just don't give a shit anymore, and that's pretty freeing because there was a lot of needing to give a shit. But my business model is so different now.
I'm so happy to hear that
don't care at all.
Guys, like the fun Johnny and then like the shining Johnny are not the same fun. So yes, Johnny, what are we? What's the next thing we're writing?
Oh yeah, wait, I didn't answer that question. So so we're revisiting the Unicorn Western universe.
Yeah,
which Dave is pretty excited about.
I can't wait to start it.
Dave,
yeah, we're gonna do
all the way to the wedding scene.
I still don't know the box to put so we're gonna do Unicorn Apocalypse, but before we do Unicorn Apocalypse, to finish off that kind of trilogy, Genesis, Western, and Apocalypse, we're gonna do Unicorn Heathens, which I still don't. I need to do some thinking, Sean, and I need to do some talking, but it's an outline that Sean wrote a long time ago, and it has this more of an Old West feel than the others, and it's about this, but it's about story, right? It's meta.
Yeah, it's a story about story. I'm also really into meta storytelling these days, and this was, although this was written like 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a long ass time. There have been a few. Do you remember Sex 2.0?
I do, and I would love to still write that because
we'll get back to it. We'll get back to it. I sell, you know, it's when I started taking the Future of Sex omnibus, the big fat thing to markets to sell after I got over the idea that people were going to think, oh, that's porn. Well, because it's not. And every time somebody buys that, it makes me super happy. So in that world, yeah, it did used to be that. Here's a question. Well, first of all, Edward returns, a little bit support there, but also I think we have this vital question, which is are baths still a favorite place?
Dude, I'm in the think tank every single day, and my new house has jets in the tub, which is just like
TMI.
I mean, Dave, you can understand. It tickles my butthole.
Oh,
I don't
definitely.
I don't have
Apparently
one
we
of
don't
those
give a fuck.
It doesn't really tickle my butthole, but the jets are nice.
Yeah, I don't have a bathtub, so I miss out on that.
Wait, you don't have it? You don't have a bathtub at all in your house? Not even one?
No, we got a shower. Well, we got one in the guest bath, but it's so small. I wouldn't fit in that. I'm a fucking giant. I'm a bear. Whenever we go to like a hotel or something that has like one of those big ones with I sit in there for hours
Oh, so
playing
you
with my
want a
duck in my
think tank?
boat.
Do you have think tank envy?
I do. I just make fun of you because I can't enjoy that. So yes.
Oh yeah, the bath. I have moved my bath time to before bed now though.
Do you like lay
You see,
flowers and light candles and shit?
the minute you say
No.
bath time instead of the time that you take a bath, I totally imagine you like in one of those little baby things.
Oh, I
It's
take my
John's
GI
bath
Joes in
time.
there, and
Yeah.
not really.
Oh, not really.
Is that their name?
Well,
Do you,
Dave,
do you do bubble bath?
you gotta be pretty happy right now, Dave, right?
My anger level is through the fucking roof.
Yeah, makes sense. It's standard. So should we we're 10 minutes over. It's been long. Should we stop? Should we stop?
Yeah.
Like there's no
Stop this train.
We should
well,
stop.
so what do you guys I was just gonna say, like, for people who, if you want more of this like energy and coolness, well, apparently we're considering doing a podcast again about nothing, but
Yeah,
also
we're
about
not really
story
prepared
speak.
for any of this. I would say, in all seriousness, if you're listening to this and you are a creator, you should absolutely go to storyspeak.ai and get your 20,000 free words because it's mind blowing. Other than that, like if you're already on the smarter artist list, that old list, if we start something up again, and I'm thinking we're like between 80-90% because we kind of decided if the vibe is good and it's not too awkward and Dave doesn't rant too hard, like we could roll with this. So between that old list, Johnny's list, Dave's sacrifices to the children in his basement, you guys will know.
What's the link again?
For StorySpeak, it's storyspeak.ai.
.ai and Power Pack upgrade. Anything to lose?
Yeah, like ask for a power pack upgrade and then tell me what happened.
Like, who the fuck? What?
I don't know what that is. Dave,
Yeah,
what do
it
you
is
have?
storyspeak.ai, just
What do you have going on? Any new books to tell people about or anything like that?
No, I'm writing something now. No idea when I'll see the light of day. Then I got some other shit. I've been writing a fantasy book for like 2.5 years now in the background. I'm looking forward to doing that someday, but I don't know.
You just said you're doing it.
Well, I mean, actually writing. I've been like, building the world out and
it.
all. Yeah. So
yeah,
I mean, I write a scene here or there if I have like inspiration.
We also know there's this massive project we don't know. Like we're on the edge of knowing if Dave's next year is locked up, essentially.
Yeah, I might not be able to write anything else. So.
Yeah. There's.
God, I want to hear the story of that. Yeah.
If I'm gonna say when, I feel really good about this, but when it happens, then it's something that we can actively talk about all through production because it'd be cool too. But it's close, and that's one that I can't say out loud, which is after I just said I wish I could just never hold anything back. But yeah, we'll be able to talk about that soon if we
damn NDAs. Yeah. So apparently some love on this, giving us a possible podcast and more Unicorn Western to look forward to. This is the best day ever. It does sound cool.
I read a comment from Phil MCG. It says, "Look forward to more of this." When I read it, I read it as "Look forward to none of this."
Well, I do think that's insight into the film.
I think I do need glasses.
Yeah. And then I'm still doing my Kickstarter for the artist and author. Definitely please check that out if you're at all interested in any of the shit that I've been saying. That's at johnnybtruant.com.
Johnny, do they have anything to lose by backing your Kickstarter?
Well, they have exactly however much they pledge to lose.
But will they lose it or will they gain?
No. They're gonna deliver on it. And actually, I'm kind of like, I do feel like I have a lot of this energy to thank for some twists and turns. And so just briefly, there's like, you can get the book or the audiobook and just like normal shit. But then I'm also doing this like Artisan University where we'll use the book as a textbook and go through it over 10 weeks, like 2 times a week for 10 weeks. And that was just kind of the rough frame. But once we started talking, I was like, I want that to be fun and have community. And like, I want it to have some of this vibe, even though it'll just be me and people, probably some of the people here. So that'll be cool. So that's me, johnnybtruant.com/artisan. Nothing to lose. there.
Can they get a power
but
pack
also I'm not
upgrade?
going to give your money back. So I guess you do technically have a little bit to lose, but I will be good with it. And then unfortunately, we do not have the BOU music. It was amazing enough that I could find the intros with the goths on the trees. So I was happy about that.
It says, is there a place to listen to the old podcast or they get deleted? I think they're gone, right?
I think they got deleted, which I was sad about because I wanted to go back and listen to them, but like I've been trying, I want to download them from like the podcast host, but I don't think they're live anymore, right, Sean?
I don't think they are. No.
I think they got redacted from history, probably because so much of it was actionable.
I think the government stepped in and just deleted us.
I mean, I can confess to what happened there. It's because we were making the transition to IP, and we were selling film and television, and there was just it was a scary time, and a lot of people were like, old tweets were resurfacing, and we were just afraid of like making some sort of a deal, and something about soggy biscuits would come up, and then we would be canceled. But
do we not care about that anymore?
Yeah, I mean, I think we need to. Well, like the old stuff is removed. I think look, I actually don't have. I feel like anything that I have said, I could stand by and say why I said it, and
like Ray Chase doing his impression of Morgan Freeman dogging the Queen.
Yes, exactly. That's actually Ray Chase examples were like right at the tip of my mind. So yes.
Yeah, I mean that's just high art.
It's just we were stupid and doing stupid things, but like I don't think that we were ever like in the business of saying harmful things to harmful people or punching down or anything like that. And so and I think we're all 10 years older and a little more mindful, and we've raised our children to
so
be
old
adults, and so we're just a little more grown up. So but yeah,
I'm
also not worried. So
all right, well, this has been this has been a lot of fun and apparently productive, even though I didn't really see that coming. So that's kind
so when might people see us again then?
I don't know. I think we need to figure it out. But I mean, so Sean mentioned it. If you're on the Smarter Artist list, I will also. So I do actively write on my Substack. So it's just johnnybtruant.substack.com. So I'm sure I'll put it there as well. So it will cover the bases. I'll put it on mine.
Look,
Sean will tell
honestly, this didn't exist Monday. Monday was like, hey, we're gonna do this show, and then
this show, the reunion, this one single show,
right? And then any idea of anything going forward didn't exist at all until
Wednesday.
Yesterday was the first time I was like, okay, I could see how this would work. And then the first time Johnny or Dave heard about it was 20 minutes before we got on live with you guys. So there's a lot to work out. I have a few things that I need to like finish, and I'm about to fuck off with Cindy for a couple of weeks for a much overdue break, and then I got to recalibrate. So it'll be a little while before we get anything going, but yeah, this feels really good to me, and it feels like the timing is right. I'm a big believer in the right timing for things, and I feel like the timing for this feels very, very good to me.
So you can follow Johnny's Substack or the Smarter Artist list that Sean mentioned, or if you're in Florida, you can go to a graveyard at midnight and hear the calls of me hailing Satan, and we'll let you know.
Yeah, I mean, that is the thing about Dave, right? Right?
Yeah. I'm Satan's disciple.
Right. I
feel like
well,
that's
I
a new
mean,
favorite.
as long as you're keeping everything
fuck.
clean.
I got this juice all over my table now.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you everybody for showing up. It's actually been super cool to see that old energy. Not just, I mean, obviously we're bringing what we can bring, but there's 26 of you on this, that's pretty cool. That 26 people wanted
also,
to be
whoever
alive.
said we haven't aged, thank you very much. You're clearly not seeing all my gray, but I love it. Thank you.
Yeah, my beard's completely gray now. So
yeah, Dave is actually the perfect hybrid of my dad and my son. So the hair is my son, and the rest in the beard is my dad. So, and there are other ways that they're similar, which is terrifying. All of it. All right. Well, so thank you guys so much for the support over the years. And now, like, it's great to be in this company again. I just love it. And yeah, and I mean, I'm going to post this on my Substack too. I think you guys were going to run it on the old feed and maybe send it out to the list. So
we'll put it on the old feed.
Yeah. So, but if you put it on if you comment on my Substack, like I'll be there.
I'll send it to all the mental institutions.
If we do start the new show, then we should probably record one more episode for this feed to send people to that feed when we're all done.
True. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for being here, and maybe it sounds like we might see you again soon. So
peace out.
Bye.